Hi guys, I'm Steph. Thank you so much for checking out my channel today. I am super excited to bring you the first installment of a new series, Battle of the ... Today's battle is Battle of the Nude Eyeliners. So personally, I love to wear a nude liner in my waterline. I think it really brightens up the eye, makes you look more awake than you are, and as someone who has very small eyes, it helps make my eyes look bigger. So not only do I wear it on the lower waterline, but I also tightline with it in the upper, which is what I have done today. And I've done a quite dark look on the lid. So having that cream color surrounding the eye kind of just helps open it up and give the illusion that your eye is bigger than it is, which is great for someone like me who has tiny eyes. And again, like I said, helps you look more awake. But because I wear it in the waterline, not everything lasts in the waterline, so I wanted to put these 5 eyeliners to the test. So today, all 5 of these are drugstore options. We are going to be talking about the Rimmel Scandaleyes, the Annabelle Waterline in matte beige color, the Annabelle Waterline Luminous in champagne, the Pixi Extra Bright Liner, and the Essence Easy Glide Waterproof in Silky Nude. So I am going to do swatches for all of these as I talk about them. Some of these products I've been wearing for months, others are newer to my collection, but each liner, when I was like really thinking about it and putting them to the test, I wore for 2 full days straight. I tested if I tightlined with a darker liner, if it transferred to the lighter color, how long it wore throughout the day, and that type of thing. So I'm really excited to tell you how these 5 stacked up. First, Rimmel Scandaleyes. This is the oldest one in my collection. As you can see, it is quite creamy and soft, and there is like a chunk right there. So that is something you have to be careful with this. I just blended it out a bit for you to see. But so this one is quite soft and can come off chunky, but it glides into the waterline so smoothly. I absolutely love it. For the longest time, this was the first nude liner I ever bought, and I really enjoyed it. So like I said, it is very creamy, but because of that, I didn't find it to be super long wearing. I found that by the 3-hour mark, I noticed that it was wearing down and wasn't as vibrant as when I first applied it. A really good thing about it is that if you're only wearing it for a short amount of time, like going out for an evening event, I didn't find that I had any transfer when I tightlined with a darker color. And sometimes I like to do that to make my lashes look thicker, but I still want the brightness that the nude liner brings. So if you're only going out for a short time and you want to pair this with a darker color to tightline, this is a great option. Next, we have the Annabelle Waterline Matte in the shade Beige. And I know that this is just available in Canada, so I'm sorry if you don't have access to it, but I did have these in my collection, so I did want to include them. I did a whole video on the, well, at the time, the new Annabelle collection, so I'll link that down below if you want to see what I thought about these in more in depth. There's other colors, cream blushes, cream highlighter, so there's a whole video on that collection. But this is the shade right here, so just so you can see it next to the Rimmel one, this is a lot brighter, a lot more nude, so interesting that this one is a lot brighter, so that helps brighten the eyes a lot more. However, like when I swatched them, it looks lighter, but when I wore it on the waterline, I found that the colors were actually the same. So if you like the color of this, if you get the Scandaleyes, it looks the same. This is also creamy, but I found it to be quite long lasting. Over 12 hours this wore, so it definitely stays in the waterline. There is a slight bit of transfer with a darker color if you're tightlining, but not too much. This was the longest one of the bunch, so if you have a long day at work, I highly suggest this one. The next one's also from Annabelle, so I'm sorry if you don't have access to Annabelle. This is their Luminous one in champagne. This one is like the softest of the bunch. It is so soft. Here it is right here, so it's a lot brighter. Like I said, it is luminous, not matte, and it does have some shine to it. I'm going to insert a picture here when I wore it, and you can really see how bright the whole eye look looks, how illuminating it actually is. It makes a very big difference between that and the matte finish, but it gives like a really nice highlighting effect that I absolutely loved. Like I said, this is the creamiest, so I found that if you press too hard, actually chunks can come off, so you want to be super duper careful with this, so that's kind of like a little, be cautious of it. And again, like the matte version, it is very long wearing. Next is the Pixi Eye Bright Liner, and for their lightning shades, I believe they have 2. There's the Eye Bright Liner, and this is the Extra Eye Bright Liner. So this one kind of has more of a pinkish shade to it. So it looks like this. So here it is right here. So you can see it is the pinkest of the bunch. It's pretty longish wearing, and I found that it was actually the most subtle of them. So as you can see, like the Luminous one is quite brightening, and even though this is like bright on the hand, the way it applied in the waterline, I found that it was actually kind of subtle. So if you don't want to look like too obvious, like you are using makeup to make yourself look more awake, this could be a great option. So as you can see, it is quite pointy, and I found that because of that point, it was almost sharp to my eye and almost painful to apply, and I found it really not comfortable to apply. But like I said, I could consider this the most realistic wide awake look if that's what you're looking for. Last, we have the Essence Easy Glide and Waterproof Extreme Lasting Eye Pencil in Silky Nude. And here is here swatched. So just to go over it again, this was Scandaleyes, Annabelle Matte, Annabelle Luminous, Pixi Extra Bright, and the Essence Silky Nude. This one, it looks quite pink when you compare it to these few. So it definitely has a more brightening effect. And this is actually the one I am wearing today. I'm not sure if you can really tell, but upon application, it is just so creamy and opaque. Because sometimes when you're putting something in the waterline, it goes on almost sheer. And this just had such a beautiful opacity to it. I was blown away. I found that when I first was wearing this, it only lasted a few hours. I then sharpened the pencil, and it made a world of difference. So because Essence, at least in Canada or the shoppers I go to, they don't seal the pencils. So I'm sure there's people opening it, looking at it, and I could tell from the tip that it wasn't used, but because they're not sealed and people are looking at it, someone maybe didn't push it down tight enough, I can see the tip drying out. So when I sharpened it, it made a world of difference. Like, I could not believe the difference this made. Before I sharpened it, it lasted maybe a few hours. After I sharpened it, all day, like competing with the Annabelle matte one. Not quite as long as that, but like it does lose a bit of its opacity, but it is still there. And I was super impressed by this. So I would definitely say this is the most opaque one if you're looking for a really strong look and you want it to be there and you want to see that nude in the waterline. This is the one to go for. So now I've kind of shared some pros and cons with each of them. I'm going to share my ranking with you. Coming in last, in 5th position, is the Pixi Extra Bright Eyeliner. It is not long lasting and it's painful to use. And even though it might give the most subtle look, I just don't think it's worth it. In 4th place, we have the Rimmel Scandaleyes. I really love this. It's the first nude I ever bought. Maybe it's just because it's a bit older, but I find it just does not last on the waterline like the next 3. And because of that, it has to have the 4th ranking. But just to say, between like 5th and 4th, it's like 5th is here, 4th is here, 3rd is like here. So this is like, don't waste your money, especially because Pixi is a more expensive brand. I just do not suggest this at all. I really do think this is nice, especially because we have the Annabelle ones left and you can't get those unless you're in Canada. So in 3rd place, I have the Annabelle Waterline Matte in Beige. I really like this. It is super long wearing, basically no transfer with darker liners, and it has such a long wear time. I really, really love this. For everyday use, it's absolutely beautiful. Our runner-up is the Annabelle Waterline Luminous in Champagne. This was a really tough call for me because I love this eyeliner, and because of that highlighted look it gives, I just think it's so different and beautiful. And if you're wearing a nude liner to make yourself look more awake, I think the luminosity of this does such a beautiful job. I love wearing it. I love the look I get from wearing this. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. But I do have to give the #1 spot to the Essence Extreme Lasting Easy Glide Waterproof. This just goes on so beautifully. It lasts all day. Essence is definitely the cheapest of these brands, though they are all drugstore. Originally, I had only tested out the previous 4. I didn't own the Essence one, and I love the Annabelle ones so much. But they're only available in Canada, and I wanted to find a product that was available to the majority of you. So I went on the hunt. I picked this up. It was the cheapest one at the drugstore. I was like, I'm going to try one more to round it up to 5, see if I can find something. And I am so happy I did, because this eyeliner, it's the best. It's the best out of the 5. It lasts the longest. It's the most opaque. It gives the most brightening look. It's the best. There's no flaws. It's just great. So there you have it. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I have some other things I've been testing out, so I can bring you another of the battle fill in the blank in a few weeks' time. So if you like this type of video, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you're updated when I upload the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye.